Now I've been using this Cold Steel Tomahawk for about 10 years now. It served me really well. I'm starting to have a few issues with it. One of the biggest issues I got right now with it is there is a big chunk right out of the axe head right here. So this particular one is the Trailhawk. Typically what I've used this for is if I'm out on the ATV or if I'm out backpacking, just so that I can have a small axe with me or a hatchet with me. I find a tomahawk's a little bit better than what an axe is, just because there's no chance of the head coming off accidentally. To take the head off, it's pretty straightforward. All you're going to do, either flip it upside down to beat it on or to beat it off. I have a big chip out of the blade here, do a little weld on that and then I'll quench it. And I've had this on so many times and off so many times that it's really hard to get off now as well. So as you can see right here, it's kind of gradually been shaving that down. So I want to sand the whole thing down. I want to refinish it, and I want to cut it a little bit shorter just because it's longer than most of the day packs that I'll actually carry. So we'll kind of go through that process right now. Just to make sure that I actually get a good contact, I'm going to sand it down a little bit so I can put the ground on it so that it'll properly weld. I'm going to also sand the whole face down. I'm just continuing to remove a lot of the paint to give it a little bit of a nicer patina here. So I've already removed part of it. I'm just going to continue away. All right. So that looks a lot better there now, more kind of what I wanted it to look like for the tomahawk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 5 1/4 inches off, or 13 millimeters. So I'm just going to put my line down here. I'm going to run it through the bandsaw. I'm going to ream out the inside here on both the top and bottom just a little bit, because it does have a sharp edge there, and that is starting to dig into the tomahawk handle. So I'm just going to fix it so that when I put the tomahawk in, that it's not digging in anymore. So the last thing I'm going to do to the handle here is I'm going to put every inch and every half inch a mark on it, so that I can measure out either a ½ inch or an inch up all the way up to a foot. There's lots of different applications you can use this for, such as tracks in the ground to identify different animals. You can also use it as any kind of thing that you'll need a measuring device for as well. So I didn't find the stain left enough color variation just applying multiple coats there. So what I'm going to do is take a heat gun a little bit, heat up a few spots just to make a few spots a little darker, just to give the handle a little more character. The other thing I had done when I first got the Tomahawk, I went to a local shoemaker and I had him make a cover for the head. The other thing I had him make was a belt loop. There's a couple things I would have done differently with the belt loop if I were to do it again. First, I'd have him add a spot for a ferro rod. The other thing I would do is I'd have 2 buttons on the side here, as opposed to having it buttoned on the back. That way, rather than always have to lift it up, if you needed to, you can just flip it over with your thumb and open it up.